Greetings and salutations. My name is Ollie, and here is your loaf of daily bread. For today's loaf, we may give thanks to the author Henry Miller, who writes the following. The mastery of great things comes with the doing of trifles. The little voyage is for the timid soul just as formidable as the big voyage for the great one. Voyages are accomplished inwardly, and the most hazardous ones, needless to say, are made without moving from the spot. The mastery of great things comes from doing little things. This is a very interesting point and very thought-provoking for me. It's something that I've never really thought about before, something I haven't encountered in the past. So I've been reflecting on it. What does it mean when he says that great things are mastered by mastery of the small things or the trifles? To me, it means simply this. Great achievements are merely the summation of many small achievements. In order to write a novel, you must write many words, each word being a small, trifling thing. But without all of those small, trifling things, you could never get to the novel. Nothing happens overnight. Especially great deeds and endeavors. These things require a lot of mundane work. It's not all glamour and glory. The end result might be that, but in order to get there, there's a lot of mundane, routine, boring trifles. And it's a good reminder because I'm the kind of person who wants to get to the end right away. I want to get there quickly, and oftentimes I forget that this is not the way to get things done. For me now, it's a matter of retraining myself to consider precisely what Henry Miller says in this quote, and to remind myself that in order to achieve the big things that I want to achieve, I have to start with the little things. Now, there is more to this quote, so let's move on to the second half, where he talks about this idea that the biggest journeys we undertake are inward journeys. Lao Tzu says something very similar in the Tao Te Ching. He says something like, without leaving your house, you can see the world. This is precisely what Henry Miller is saying. The most exciting and thrilling journeys are taken without moving a single step. You don't even leave the spot that you're standing on. Those are the types of journeys that are the most exciting, the most thrilling, and the most hazardous, because they lead you within. And this is where you will encounter all of the demons and angels and dragons and monsters that you have heard about in fairy tales. I had the misfortune of reading an article recently about a Canadian academic whose name I won't mention because he's so controversial. And in this interview, he basically was telling the journalist, witches are real and they live in swamps. Now, I suspect that this academic was being misrepresented here. I don't believe that a person of his intellect would ever go on record to say such a thing. I believe that what he was alluding to is the fact that these are inner realities. At least I hope that's what he was alluding to. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because surely he can't be that dumb, okay, to assert that witches are real and that they live in swamps. I think what he meant was a witch as a symbol for a certain type of personality trait. And the swamp, of course, is deep down in your sub and unconscious mind. But in any case, this is why I think Henry Miller says that the journey inward is the most hazardous, because that's where you encounter all of your delusions and all of your biases and all of your gross character flaws that you have been ignoring, willfully or not. And so there is great danger for the ego, at the very least, when you travel within. Well, my friends, I think this might be the most thought-provoking quote that I have shared yet. Maybe not for you, but for me, most definitely. Especially the first part. Really gave me pause, and I really had to contemplate the meaning of those words. So, thanks for joining me while I work through it. And whatever you do, don't forget, I love you, you're beautiful, and you always have a choice. No matter what happens, no matter what situations or circumstances come your way, you choose. Don't forget it. Till next time, live well, my friends.